I need
Welcome to the November 21st Commissioner meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. We've approved the minutes from the November 8th meeting. I'll entertain a motion for that. It's gotta be you.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes from the November 8th meeting.
I'll second it since Mr. Ruben wasn't here. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. We've approved the accounts payable vouchers. I'll entertain a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to approve accounts payable vouchers.
You can second.
Yep.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
And we've approved the payroll docket. I'll entertain a motion for that.
I'll make a motion, we approve the payroll docket.
And I second Ron's motion.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Mhm. Time for your time to shine, Jason.
Oh, well, that was awful quick.
We couldn't hardly wait to get to you.
Yeah, I see that.
You bring your, so you gotta bring a letter opener. It looks like you've got one. I don't know, that doesn't look like yours particularly, but that's all right, but.
They're the best.
All right, we'll go from there. All right, we're open the highway department annual bids. Here we are.
Please bear with me, I'm new at this.
Agree. So we're going to, Flynn Brothers, or Flynn Brothers Cold Mix Asphalt. And then we'll just read, the
Yeah, I'm real new at this.
one truckload of the loose bulk
Okay.
is 2,300, yep.
All right. So this bid here is from Flynn Brothers Cold Mix Asphalt. We have a loose bulk pickup, one truckload of 20 tons, 2,300. Loose bulk delivered, loose bulk, one truckload of 20 tons is 2,860. Delivered easy street bags, 50 pounds a bag, would be 896. I believe for 56 50-pound bags per skid. Sorry.
We just want them over here.
Right.
That one's easy.
The Daltons Incorporated, sorry. With the bid of vegetation spray at 136 furnished and applied. Put back in.
This one you don't have to read all that, because this is a lot. This is just St. Regis, and they were bidding out all the culvert pipe. And then those are just the letters.
Yeah.
I assume that it's the whole packet, there's a bunch more, but you know.
Okay. Here we have St. Regis, they're bidding on culverts. I'll just run through a couple here, 6-inch culvert at 16 gauge galvanized at 1440, an 8-inch 16 gauge at 1890, these are galvanized, a 10-inch but 16 gauge at 2340, and there's more to it. We'll get with that.
Okay. It's some kind of the same, I just read off. These are the tabs of what they're doing, but there's too many.
This is Civil Con. Yeah, we'll get that in a minute. They have culverts and accessories, aluminum box culverts. Aluminum, not real sure on that one, plate. Steel mile plate, plastic liner and storm units, erosion control fabric and grid, precast bridges, boxes and footings. steel and concrete beams, guardrail, and bridge accessories. This one is Marathon Petroleum Company. And we have AE 90 unit in gallons. It'll be delivered at 240 per gallon. AE 90S, 265 delivered per gallon. AE 150 at 260 per gallon delivered. Then RS2 at 240 per gallon delivered. Here we have asphalt materials. They have AE 90 at 292 per gallon. AE 150, AE 200 at 287 per gallon. RS2, AE 90 at 257 per gallon. Here we have Perry Asphalt Materials. They have AE 90 at 230 per gallon, AE 90S at 260 per gallon, AE 150, 200 at 230 per gallon, and Terry non-tracking fog at $1.80 per gallon. Energy. We have number 2 clear diesel at 314.95 per gallon. And then we have 87 E10 gasoline at $22.43. Let me get that correct.
Wow.
243.02 per gallon.
Jacked it up to gasoline.
Yeah, that scared me there for a second.
Yeah, we probably won't give them a call.
Yeah.
Their way of saying they really don't want our business.
Here we have Heidelberg Materials. Here. Out of Scott County, we have 11s. This is rock sizes. Old size 11s, 1860. Rip wrap at 1695. 53s and DRVs at 1270, I believe. And then the for sales, Ori will be at $13.25 for 53s, $22.55 at 11s, and $18.80 at Rip wrap.
They didn't do a quote, they just are registering for later if we want to contact them for quotes, registering for quotes.
And this is Petroleum Traders Corporation. And I believe they're just registering for quotes currently. Ballers Incorporated. Plastic pipe, yeah, 15-inch split couplings at $22.94. 12-inch split couplings at $13.78. and 18-inch split couplings at 39.10. That, here we have Great Lakes chloride. Great Lakes chloride at 40 cents per gallon applied. We have the total oil services with 87 octane gasoline at $1.9655. Then we have number 2 diesel at $2.2905 per gallon.
We will be, but they're putting their hourly rates for all their services that they have. So you have to read all those. Right?
Here we have KLB excavating. And we have mini excavator, 12,000 pounds or under at 140 an hour. Medium-sized excavator, mini to 34,000 pounds at 180 an hour. Skid steer at 9,000 pounds or less at 125. A single axle dump truck at 95 an hour. And a tandem axle truck for 115 an hour. Here we have Dave O'Mara, contractors. Number 11 surface at 69. Number 9 service at 65. Number 9 binder at 63, and number 5 base at 62. Then we have cold asphalt surface mixture, cold mix at 175.
Another one, is just, not bidding the pay, put the stuff on it for hourly rates. Of them.
Here we have All Star Paving. They didn't bid, they give us a hourly rate sheet for, let's see, mini excavator, 12,000 pound or less at 140. Medium-sized excavator, mini to 34,000 pounds at 185. Skid steer, 9,000 pounds less at 125. Single axle dump truck, 100 an hour, and tandem axle dump truck at 125. Okay, here we have Mac Construction and Excavating. Surface number 11, $60. Surface number 9, $56. Intermediate number 9, $56. Then we have base number 5 at 47, and then cold mix at 140.
And here's all there.
Meat Tree Bridge LLC. They have pipe, multi-plate, box culverts, bridges, and miscellaneous. That's it?
Good first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mouth, but that's all right. Well, normally Bobby sits there and struggles through them all, so I think maybe this was a better way to go. I don't know if they think that way, but.
I'm a little nervous.
usually says he'll take them under advisement.
Yeah, they will take these under advisement and
About all you can do right now.
that work.
To the end. All right. He's very sure. Megan.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am here to present the WOW contract for our financial software that we are looking at switching to. I should have a copy of it. I believe there's a spot on the back page that all of you need to sign.
I looked at this.
He said it looked good.
So same as the auditor, I mean, not the same contract, but same company and working to do those things. Okay.
Yeah. We just switched to WOW for our financial software last September. It's going very well. So this would help integrate and make things.
I will make a motion, we enter into a new contract or renew the contract with LL Low Associates Incorporated for Treasurer's Department, Auditor Treasurer.
A second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Thank you.
Thanks.
Want to tell us anything? One more, sorry, we gotta tell us something
No,
first. Tell us something.
Oh, you only get one.
another
Oh, we only signed one thing.
It's the same thing. This is just
Oh.
more of the financials, I believe. I don't, I was just asked to do this like yesterday, so.
You believe, wait a minute.
Yeah, this has, like the yearly, costs of everything on there.
Data reports.
Does he say, do you know?
Discounts.
I do like this guy, like, to me.
I'd rather
It
see
says,
it.
but.
Affirmative is maybe.
I have not been doing the agreeing, that's been Heather.
Oh,
She's out freezing her feet off.
Don't look at you, right?
Yeah,
okay.
he's selling trash cards. In the snow. Do you have a fire going there?
I should tell space heaters.
Flaggers are in there. Okay, so is this in addition to the other contract, or is this just part of the same? We
I
need
think
to
there was two parts to it. I think there's a conversion part of it, which converts all the old records
Yeah,
over,
well,
and there's the
this is the-
actual
take.
contract.
So this is a separate,
I think it is.
okay, so I entertain a motion to accept the tax system conversion agreement to convert from our previous software system to our new.
I'll make a
From my
motion.
understanding, they had to have this signed in order to see how much information that they needed to pull over and stuff to give us even a more in-depth, accurate quote. I mean, I think that's, I know, but I think they can't pull over information until you guys agree
Sure.
to look at it. We're on the financial software now, this is for the property. And
I'll make a motion, we'll accept the conversion contract.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion?
Megan,
She's gonna point to you, I'm afraid.
I know, but
All right.
it should be a big.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anything else you wanna talk about? Only come beginning of the year and then all the time when you need.
Tax collection went well.
Good. So the
We can leave it open.
text system you set up, people using it?
Yeah. They like it. We've had lots of people sign up recently too, because they forgot.
Well, that's what it's there for. So
Yeah.
it's working. Kinda like when we put up the new website, we weren't sure how many people were using it or not, and we had a couple incidences and we saw that they were. And we had the flood, had a list of roads up there that were closed at the time. And had to take it down to update it. We got several calls. Where did you do with the list? Okay, stop my jabbering and we'll go on.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Tom? Well, if you need support, you can go up there and support it.
I need more support than she does.
Okay.
I'll let you leave. Do you guys know Marlene?
I do.
Yeah, okay. Y'all
I
know
do
her.
from a long time ago. We hadn't talked to her, but
Going back again. We're here to request money for a roof for the DuPont school.
okay. You want to give some background or just?
I wrote it up, so I won't
Okay.
forget anything. So, but we're here with the support from the Lancaster Township trustee requesting funds to stabilize and structurally secure the DuPont Elementary School building for the future use as a multi-facet community activity center. The trustee wasn't able to attend, but I do have a signed document from him stating his support for this process. The building has been vacant for approximately 12 years and it is in need of repair. And we would like to request, I believe you'll have a spreadsheet with the figures on it. We did an average on the cost from the two written quotes that we received. Which is roughly $142,000. Is what we'd like to request for the roof, because for the other repairs, the roof's the first thing we've got to start with. There are some leaks. And get that sound and then we can go further. After it's been stabilized and working order, we'll get with the community to determine the best direction for the use for it. We have the firehouse, it's the social hub, as you guys know, fish fries. And we have the new lovely playground that you all helped with, and it's a great space in the town, and we just want to keep the enthusiasm for the revitalization of DuPont going. And we feel that by converting the school, which is now empty, into a type of a community activity center, there would be a multitude of benefits that it could provide for the community as well as the county, of Jefferson County. And as you can see, I've looked at the cost. I mean, right now I think it's roughly probably about $412,000 is what we are coming up with of an average on some of those costs to possibly get the school up and running from all aspects of repair.
We have to start with the roof, because if we don't, it's just gonna fall to pieces.
And being on Highway 7 in the northern part of the county, it would be a nice welcoming to Jefferson County. Beautiful community activity center.
Any questions, any discussion?
It's been turned over to DuPont.
Yes, the township owns the building.
Not
Yes.
to DuPont, not the town
Not
of
the town,
DuPont,
the
it's
township.
Lancaster Township.
And
Yeah, Lancaster
It's
Township.
Doug Harrell is the trustee, and he's the one that's given us the permission to do this, and he's working with us on this.
So historical building, correct?
Yes,
I mean, has there been any thoughts on looking for historical grants for?
yes. We need to try to get the application completed for the National Registry is what we'd like to do. There's a lot to it. And it's just a matter of trying to find the right resources to possibly help with that application.
Sorry, I'm looking at the
As you
guy
keep
at the
looking at someone behind us.
at the back of the room who's on his phone who might help.
Well, Bernice and I were just talking, there's some
possibilities through.
It sounds like you could be eligible for Oak Ridge Public Facilities Grant, which their maximum is 750,000.
So-
Trying to figure out how to text you.
I just feel it sitting here, so I don't know. Yeah, I'll be like, what is it?
Then if anything, the county might just help you with providing some cost match, because there is a cost match requirement, and that would be significantly less than 400,000. So.
So maybe that's what we do now, is we have a meeting and kind of sit down and let's set something up in the near future so we can talk
That would be
Through
great.
those
What do you
sorts-
need cost match?
Just the community has to have local match to put up for the grant, so I think this is the 10%. So whatever you would ask, you need to put up at least 10% of that. Usually, in order to get more points, you should put up more than the minimum, but you have to have at least a minimum just to be able to apply. So, yeah, it sounds like, to me, when you said your roof and you guys wanna use it for a community center, like, that really sounds like it would qualify to me. But yeah, I'll give you my card, and we can definitely have future meetings with, our Oak community liaison, and he could also come and give us more direction on if it will qualify and encourage us to apply, or help us find another opportunity if it doesn't fit, but I think it does. That would be great.
Cause yeah, the gym itself was built in like 1939.
Yeah, even better if it has historic.
Yes.
Yeah, cause we've had other projects for different counties that are kind of the same thing, that one I'm working on right now, so, yeah.
I had-
You're here.
I had
Networking.
Greg Kula come out and look at the school a few years ago, and he said, I didn't even know this was here.
Wow.
And he said that after he started looking into things, and I think he put it on something, I don't know what it was, but
Okay.
he said that it ranks like third in Indiana.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
that's
so-
good. Yeah, he's helping Vernon with their gym, because they did a different grant, but they also will qualify for the public facilities. They just had another program too, I think. But yeah, that's great, because Greg is already, saying that's a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I mean, so we'll see.
Hello, Jim.
Hello.
Misha,
So glad to see you.
did you order the snow?
It came a little bit earlier than I expected. I was trying to make it a nice Christmas
When
surprise.
you say snow, look at that guy back there.
I'm sorry.
All the time your predecessor was in there, we didn't know.
4-letter word.
All right, we're ready.
It is, it's what I've.
They've got all the sensors on crackers or whatever.
Is this in addition to that, or is this the same?
Yeah, well, so the resolution one is actually, I brought that with me just in case y'all wanted to vote on it tonight, cause I think the last time that we talked about it, you all wanted some things added, so I just updated the resolution for the, task force to be like an official commission, county commission group. But I'm mainly here for the project draft, but I also
Okay.
have resolution. Well, we can start with the project draft.
Sure.
So the task force has been working really hard to put together, a great project for, just forwarding digital inclusion. Also, real quick note, I edited it today and I completely forgot to take out the line about Rush County, Rushville. Ignore that. That was for, this draft. Yeah. Doesn't quite, include in our jurisdiction here. That was for, this draft was also siphoned from a larger regional project, so just ignore that line. But yeah, they want to do digital inclusion, project for the county. And our target groups are going to be senior citizens, students, and the community at large. So as you know, from all the years that I've been here, we have needs in the county with people improving their digital literacy skills. And, so anything from just how to use a regular everyday computer to maybe a little bit more complicated devices like fancier cell phones and tablets. And then, of course, our biggest group that you see that need in is senior citizens, because, just wasn't stuff that you grew up with and.
Do they see the need though? That's what I'm.
They do,
wondering. They do?
actually, yes, they actually do, because,
Cause I'm sure some of them are like,
yeah. Yeah, some of them maybe, if they're just, they kind of keep to themselves on an everyday basis, they may not see the need, but we actually do hear a lot from seniors that want to learn how to FaceTime with their grandchildren. Want to learn how, especially now we have telehealth, so they need to learn how to get onto a device and talk with their doctor, how to register with Medicare. My mom went through that a couple of years ago when she got of age, that she actually had to do a couple of virtual meetings. Luckily, she had worked with computers for her career, so she didn't really have as much of a hump to overcome, but there's a lot of people who don't have that and need that need. So they are going to address these target groups by first of all, we'll be working with the 4-H students that we worked with the last time when they had the Tech Changemakers grant. That unfortunately is not around anymore, but we're gonna continue that work, hopefully with some county funds, because those students are still trained. They train some peers, and Britt at Purdue Extension already helped with that train group, and he is on board to continue that. So we're really excited to be able to have them on board to continue to use their training to develop literacy lessons for the seniors that they go out. It was already, I'm sure you guys heard of before, how big of a hit that was with the senior center and the other groups that they visited. But we'll also hope to utilize, we're working with the schools to help utilize some students within the school system. So not only those 4-H students, but also hopefully, if the schools can get the staff, any staff that are willing to be pulled to help with that, maybe have some digital literacy clubs, or at the very least, be able to help us with outreach into the homes, since they have such a vast network. So we have Madison Consolidated and Southwestern Jefferson County schools that are consolidated schools that are on board to help us with promotion and outreach, as well as providing venues when we figure out to develop times and lessons for digital literacy classes. And then some other topics that we know that we want to highlight, just besides digital literacy in general, is also some cybersecurity education. That's another one that I hear a lot. People want to, know how to avoid any kind of scams when you get weird text to your phone, when you get strange emails, how to avoid that. We also want to utilize our SEI broadband clearinghouse that we have with the Ready Project at SRPC. So that won't cost anything. That's a Ready Project already funded, but we can utilize the outlet for more promotion. And then I have some contacts with the IoT, the Indiana Office of Technology, that I'm hoping to have them come out from time to time, and also, do some more outreach into the community. So we're really excited about this project. Inside of the project draft was a budget. And I was told by Brian, the message was passed, that to aim for 25,000 or less. And I think we did a good job keeping that under that possible limit. But of course, this is just a preliminary draft of what we think we would need. This is gonna, pend your approval on what you guys think you would be willing to sign on to for this project, to then pass on to the council. So if you start that first line item, I just want to start that $2,000. That's what I talk with Mary. If we're gonna have SRPC administer this, we don't have to have this. Like, I would actually prefer the county administer. It's your project. I'm just here to help be a liaison. So, but I just put that in there just in case. And then, if you guys would want us to administer, of course, we'll have further talks about what that would look like. But that was just the preliminary fee that Mary had probably suggested for the extra work. But I also think that this project would probably be simple enough that the county could definitely do it themselves, or even work with the library. Judy might have some manpower to do that as well. For a digital literacy instructor, that originally was going to be Britt. He is going to stay on managing the students, but he wanted to take off costs for his time, since we definitely don't want to double dip into county funds. So, but we left that on there just in case the library might end up pulling somebody that there's a little bit left to compensate them with the stipend, or lifetime resources, because they are going to be joining on as a partner as well, and they may have somebody to also be able to teach those classes. So we just wanted to pull a little bit to be able to compensate them for their time over the course of the year of this project. And then providing that instructor with up to $500 to buy a device to help them be able to plan the lessons if needed. I wanted to limit our 4-H students in particular to 6 digital guides. I thought that would be kind of nice for keeping the program there a little bit competitive, for the students who may apply to that, but also just helping us be able to anticipate a number for what it would cost to have them involved. So at $300 per device, again, that was a quote that came from Britt with the type of devices that he thinks that they would need per student. So that's gonna be $1,800, a $20 stipend for each event that they lead instruction on per student, being that they do a maximum of 3 events per month per student. So we're not gonna have them be working a part-time job, but I thought it would be nice to include a little bit of money in there for them, just for the work that they're doing. And then just to cover their t-shirts and name tags, give them a little swag, what they're doing, travel up to $500 for travel costs. And then some refreshments for their instruction events when they're reaching out to seniors or whatever group that they're meeting with, to provide light refreshments if needed, and then snacks during their trainings. And then we have outreach materials will include things like printing, marketing ads, supplies, and other items or things that we might deem necessary for outreach. But of course, each item would be approved individually during the process of this grant, as well as events. So to cover any, we're not anticipating needing to actually use money to cover the cost of a venue, because the schools will help us with that and that will be free. But just all the other costs that may go into pulling off said event that we would want to do for the community. So we're anticipating needing $19,070 for this. Again, that could be a little bit less depending on, if you want CRPC to help with the administration, or if you guys are gonna be able to do that in-house. You will still have me to help regardless of the administration fee. I just, I would be doing a little bit less without that, but, yeah. Any questions?
So the local match amount, I'm not,
Oh, yes, thank
So-
you, yeah, so that is, and it's not set in stone yet, we're still waiting to hear word. Judy with the library applied for a grant that would provide that, and that's also going to help provide the curriculum for digital literacy instruction. Thank you, because I missed that one. So then that brings up the total cost to $24,000, which what the county would actually be covering would be $19,000 out of that, or a little bit less. So, but yeah,
Okay,
we're not sure yet on that $5,000 grant, but I'll definitely keep you guys updated once she hears back from the agency if they got it or not, but she says it's likely, so. We're confident.
I mean, I think, so we can, so let us look at a couple spots to see where we might be able to get the funding from.
Okay.
So this year, next year,
So
I mean-
if the library gets that grant, they will be starting in January, and then
okay,
we
so
just figure.
this is all, we're all
Yeah.
looking to
Yeah.
in 2025,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah, because that'll help us in where we. where
And
we-
then also, the good thing about this is because I feel like it's such a great project, we're confident about it. If we decided that we did need more or wanted to expand it beyond what's laid out in the plan, I think this is also a great project to leverage with our local community foundation. So depending on what Bethany focuses on next year when they release what their focus is gonna be, if it aligns with this, that might be a potential, source of extra funding. And then the Jefferson County Community Foundation as well, might be extra funding. I know I'm always saying this and nothing's ever come to fruition yet, but there is digital equity grant money from the state that's supposed to be coming. They got 15 million. I don't know at what point that they might, release officially what they're gonna do with it, but they have said that they want to be able to have, be able to provide projects to fund across the state. So that could be another source. Again, it's a wait and see at this point. They had a webinar today, now that I think about it, with AIM, that they were talking about, bring my notes, bring my notes from that. But they were going over their different broadband programs. I did not, unfortunately. They were going over their different broadband programs, with the digital equity grant being one of them, and so that's when they laid out the 15 million. I took screenshots from it, and I'm going to put it in a summary and just send it out to all our regional commissioners, so you guys will get that information once I put that together, and kind of give you a more detailed heads up as what's coming and what could come out from that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all I have on the grant, if you guys are done with that. And then the resolution, that is just an updated copy from what the last time that we met, and you guys had suggested a couple of things to add. So, and then I just added lines for signatures. I'm not expecting you to vote on that tonight if you don't want to, if you want more
So,
time to.
I mean, we have kind of our own format, so
Right.
we'll have to get our
Yeah,
attorney
okay,
to
okay.
put that together, but
Okay.
this should have enough information that we can.
Yeah,
get
cause
started with.
it was adding in where you guys wanted to be able to appoint the members to the task force, and then also limit the numbers to whatever number you see fit, and then I think.
Did you ever come up with a?
No, I just kind of kept it vague that you guys, whatever number you deem appropriate, that you can decide.
And we'll pick a certain number, and you
Yeah,
go,
I-
well, we really want.
Cause you never know, what activities may come, and if it ends up being you need 20 people or 10, so.
Yeah, you could try 20, but you're gonna get.
Right, I know, but I just left it open, cause you just never know, so I've kept that kind of vague, and you guys will have that, that discernment call when it comes, so, yeah, that's it. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I jump in before the ordinance? I'd like to go to the community group tonight.
Well, I was probably gonna do a switch in the order. So do the department updates first, and the people do wanna. Sorry, Lindsay,
Who's gonna try to?
you get any feedback?
I heard nothing.
We get any?
You can skip me.
No.
We don't skip that meeting.
Can you run it at like,
I can run it faster.
okay.
I don't know that we can hear it.
We did last time, we'll be fine. So. I guess you wanna go, I was like,
Yeah. I really don't have a whole lot.
oh, but you. So.
Yeah.
We have a meeting tonight? We have a meeting after this, right?
Yeah, I was gonna, I don't need to be there.
Oh, I see.
I just said it, I don't need to be there.
I see how that works out. Yeah, right, take a note on that one.
Well, I admit, I would like to, but, I've missed the last several of our church group meetings, so
but-
I'm hoping to make this one tonight, so don't kick me out.
We'll be calling you every 10 minutes, and link to this one.
He said, it'll take about 15 minutes, so it could be. All right, so anyway, quickly, I just want to acknowledge the work Renisha's done on this. She puts a lot of effort into it. So I'm gonna drag out my soapbox for a minute. I usually keep, I think there's a lot of places where government will reach us, but I think one of the main things the government should be doing is take care of its citizens. And this part about cybersecurity education, I think that's huge. My wife works in financial services industry. She sees the scams every day. And it's, unfortunately, it's seniors.
Like something going around now where they, whatever breach happened, I mean, we got a guy at work that he has had his bank account just, I don't know if it's quite empty, but money been taken out unbeknownst to him, and he calls the bank and they're like, what do you want us to do?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they really don't, so, and I don't know, you know, what, it may not have been anything that he did to start with, but there's so many things that come into your inbox if you hit.
Yeah.
And
I get text messages and emails every day about my shipments waiting at the post office, and I just need to click this link and
Sure.
whatever, so.
I got one on the toll,
Yeah.
I got one today on the toll that I owed him money.
really,
We got that one too.
Mhm.
Actually, my wife got it. She got that one. She got caught. She actually called him up and tried to pay it. So, and she's hammering me all the time over this stuff. It's kind of funny, you know, cause actually I sent her, I got the text or whatever, or email, whatever it was, and I sent it to her, and I was like, hey, just got this. She's like, crap, I just called him. So, yeah, it's funny. But anyway, so I think there is a lot of value, and particularly that piece of it,
sure,
you know.
cause it looks so real.
And
you know?
it's just, and that's unfortunately, that's a demographic that gets targeted pretty heavily.
Yep.
And, anyway, so if we can see our way forward on that, I think that would be, to me, that's a big reason, a big part of it, so that's just personal. And then, only other thing is, I don't know if you wanna talk about this
Sure.
tonight or anything.
You wanna talk about it? You talk about it.
Well, so we put the, request for proposal out for animal shelter designs. We had, I can't remember, 4 or 5, I think, responses. We evaluated them, looked at all the different, proposals, and we selected Grinsfelder Associates out of Fort Wayne. So, we're trying to.
And it was close, I mean, I know some people think, but I mean, we tried to go through and judge it based on what was
We had
in
a
the
criteria
RFP. Yeah.
that we worked with, but,
I mean,
they had a ton of experience doing animal shelters, and particularly in Indiana, so that was a big time, that's a big something.
we'll let you
Board
get up
them
and
all.
talk more often.
Losing them
You're
fast.
empty in the room.
So, anyhow, we gotta get, together with a kickoff meeting, we have to go and do that, but we will be moving forward on at least getting a design.
I think we get a contract before the end of the year, cause
Yeah.
that's, the
Yeah.
ARP money is there to do that, get that started,
So
so.
we get that, then once we have a design, we've got something we can actually show, instead of just telling people what we'd like to do, we can show them what we plan to do.
Right.
Then we can start trying to raise some money
Yep.
to get something built, so. Yeah, anyway, I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it or anything, or make any other statements about it, but, it looks good, I'm excited to get going on it.
Right, and then with the other people.
What's that?
One lady in particular is kind of excited to get going about the
Yeah.
trash.
You reckon?
Yeah,
Yeah, and need to catch up with her too, cause I think there's some, now she's got a 501(c)(3) to work with, and there's some grants we can start looking at too. So. But anyway, that's really all I had. Any questions for me?
so we're probably on the, going from the revolving loan to the grant, we should, do we wanna start that at the beginning of?
Yeah, I wasn't
Next
gonna
year?
put that on.
No, that's fine, I just try to get
Yeah.
a timetable to,
I thought we might get it done before the end of the year, but, you know, I don't wanna put it on business owners at the end of the year with
Right.
everything else they have
There's some
going on, to then have to
pressure.
stop and fill out applications and things like that, so that'd be better, we wait till the first of the year, and we have to figure, there's some things, we gotta figure out, who's gonna do the review of the applications.
okay, so maybe that's what we do in December, trying to figure out a group that would.
Yeah, it's got a. Well, there was, in the original agreement, through Okra and everything, there was some demographics on the
Sure.
body that did the review, so we wanna we don't have to mirror it exactly, but
Get
it's,
close.
you know, it's not just gonna
That's
be
fine.
a bunch of county employees doing it, so. No offense, but yeah, that's the part we need to figure out, get some people who would be willing to help out with that.
Okay.
You know, so.
Yeah,
Now we're just working on, following up on that, grant application, and like I said, it's just a lot of, every time you turn around, there's another state or federal regulation that you gotta make sure you're in compliance with and do this, so, but we're getting there. So.
thanks.
All right, anything else? All right,
Brian.
thank you.
It's your church,
Back again, go ahead.
All right,
I just
don't
want
have,
to give
don't
you,
have to read envelopes or anything, so.
yeah, this is not as bad.
Yeah.
So I just will give you guys an update. We had several guys out crack sealing roads here lately. We've, made major strides in that with the new crack sealing machine. Working fantastic. Haven't had nothing but positive feedback on that. It's been going very smoothly.
Yeah,
It's been great, honestly.
no, I mean, very smoothly. I mean, in the end, it will. be
Yeah,
smooth.
yeah.
I see. I don't know if you meant that.
Well,
Got it.
Okay, good.
but I tell you, I've been proud of the guys. I mean, they've stepped right in there and just really went at it with the crack sealing machine. It's worked great.
Just the melting,
Yes, so it's the one that takes the rubber blocks and melts it down and we seal over like the cracks in the
sure,
road.
sure.
You know, preventive maintenance is.
I know we had some discussion on it, what you would call that piece of equipment.
We just call it a crack sealer.
That's all right. I'm just making sure one and the same. We're good
Yeah.
there.
That's just been great, you know. And then, we went ahead and we've got, I believe, 4 dump trucks currently already suited up and ready to go in case we do get some good snow here. As much as I don't wanna say that, but you know, we are ready, you know, yeah, guys are ready, so that's taken care of. But I do wanna give out a major shout out to, Trevor Bryant. He was our intern that come through us through a work program. And just here last week, he received his Class A CDL non-restricted, so he is the top of the line on CDLs, so we're pretty proud of him. I wanted to let you all know about him, because that's been a great project with him. He's really stepped
A little
up.
proud of him. I mean,
I'm a lot proud of him.
You were the guy that took him under your wing, right?
I may have took him under the wing, but he done
Well,
it on his own, you know.
Sure, but
Sometimes you just need that little
You need-
push to
sure.
get you rolling, and he's took off with it. And, you know, this young man he's unlimited now, you know. He's really stepped up. Like I said, I've told you all before, he's got his welding certificates and Class A CDLs now, so we couldn't be happier for him, you know. He's really shining out there. We appreciate you all letting us give him a chance on that, and hopefully in the future, you know, we can bring a few more
Yep.
young men or young women on board and help them get where they're wanting to go, you know, so.
See who we can maybe partner with to find some of those opportunities. I
Yeah,
don't know, so when he started, was he high school or was he or high school age or out of high?
he was high school age.
High
yeah.
school age?
Yeah,
So
and we
maybe
started
working-
with, I don't remember honestly the company name. I believe it was like a work one that takes a student
Sure.
and helps them find that job and everything.
I think both Southwestern and Madison now have this JAG program, which I don't know if some of those would be candidates for that, or maybe just working straight with Work One, because
Hmm.
Department of Workforce Development has a lot of those things going on, so.
Yeah,
I have a contact there. Maybe we can reach out and meet with them one day and just see how we kind of shape a project or a program like that,
yeah. And that's, you know, that's what we need to do as a community also, you know, and we have the means to teach them, like, honestly, life skills, you know, mechanicking or,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, just general maintenance on stuff in that department. And then also, you know, we can take them out and teach them to be an operator or a truck driver. There's a lot of things that we can do for them, and this young man took off with it and just couldn't be happier for him, you know. I truly can't. I'll brag on him all night, so.
Good.
You know, so we're proud of him.
And I think the skills that you teach there, I mean, just not, you know, I don't. Do they have the vocational center? Yeah, but I mean, like diesel mechanics and stuff like that. I don't know what all they.
So Madison has their own program now.
Now, yeah, I know.
They have Greg Lamb teaching diesel mechanics, and then, I don't remember, but I just know his name is Mr. Lamb for welding.
Sure.
And then up at Versailles, they still have the vocational school up there.
Yeah, I knew that. I didn't know they had those particular things. It's something that we ran, at least when I was teaching at Southwestern, kids didn't want to be gone for a half a day
Mhm.
to make that drive, and if it was closer, I think you'd get a number of additional kids that's where they needed to go.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where they were gonna flourish rather than
yeah.
not.
And we can't take, you know, 10 students
No,
at
no,
one
no,
time.
no,
you
and
know,
that,
but-
and that's why I think where we sit down with Work One and just see
Yeah,
what size of a program would you be looking at? Cause they would be, I think, more than happy to work with folks to set something like that up.
yeah, yeah.
So, and then, yeah.
I just think it's been a great program and couldn't be, like I say, I can't be happier. You know,
Sure.
I know Sarah come out today and we give him a hard time and a hard way to go, but you know, he's
Big-
been there for us.
Big cardboard cutout we can put around to show them,
Hey, we'll get it, we'll take that picture and we'll go get one. We'll tote it around the county.
There we go.
You
And
know.
this could be you.
We'll really embarrass him.
He really, if he would ever feel comfortable, that's a really good success story.
Oh, yeah.
It's, yeah,
If he would ever, if he can,
yeah,
Relax
that's,
enough to speak in front of folks. Well,
Get out
maybe
there,
he'll get
yeah.
there.
yeah, it's
it's
been great.
agreeable.
I know, I'm sure Bob's come in there, he's probably seen him running around there. He's not the quietest, but he's amazing, he's done a lot of good for us, and not only that, I hope we've taught him some life lessons, at the same time, and it's been great.
Based on the path that he's taken, I would say, yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to see that he's latched onto it and
Mhm.
done good things with it. I just, sat in the chair and said, well, what's next? I mean, he's out
Yeah.
doing stuff, so.
He's, like I said, I'm sure Bobby's seen him there, he's a real go-getter, so, like I say, I can't be any prouder, he's been a blessing.
Good deal. Thanks for taking that time.
And thank you guys, have a good evening.
All right,
Thank
too.
you for taking care of that issue out at Manville.
No problem. We try,
Appreciate that.
so.
Cause you had a lot on your plate yourself right then, so.
Yeah, but that's an issue we need taken care of,
Yeah.
especially, helping out, so,
But I thank you for it.
yeah, no problem. Thank you, guys.
There's 6-minute ordinance.
Well, she's gonna try to run a little quicker, but it's gonna be close to that. So we'll do the intermission like we did last time.
I think we may head out.
You missed it last time. You sure you don't want?
Nothing against the reading of the ordinance. Nice Thanksgiving, everyone.
I know.
You too.
Be careful.
The on-site sewage systems.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Direct discharge, right? Tableton
Greg Prince called second before the meeting and he said, among other things, make sure to tell you, he said, hello.
Oh, okay.
Greg Prince from Scott County.
Yes,
He
yes.
said you
Work for NDOT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not why he called, but I told him where he was. And he said, "Oh," and I said, "Hey."
All right, thank you.
You stick around for this reading of the ordinance?
Thank you. I'll get back with you. She
Sure.
will-
Yeah, we'll set something up.
Thanks for looking up that. Yeah.
You cut the crowd.
I thought Brian could, my goodness. We just need to talk about on-site sewage system ordinance and.
Hey. See if I can figure out how to say it faster.
Like in the bottom of the car commercials. Tax license, license, mercy, and face off included. I thought we don't about it.
And the number?
Yeah.
Excited as such and will be done here as this ordinance. This ordinance will effectively repeal any before
There you go.
The purpose of this ordinance is to provide minimum standards for the prevention and suppression of disease and health risks associated with the use of on-site sewage systems and to otherwise promote public safety and welfare and protection of the environment. This ordinance regulates the location, installation, construction, maintenance, reconnection, replacement, alteration, and repair of all residential and commercial on-site sewage systems in Jefferson County, Indiana. It also provides for the administration and enforcement of the provisions contained herein and affixes penalties for violation. This ordinance incorporates by reference the Indiana Department of Health Rules 410 IAC 4-8.3, 6-8.3, residential onsite sewage systems at SEC 410 IAC 6-10.1, commercial onsite sewage systems at SEC, and bulletins SE 11, the sanitary vault privy 2021 edition at SEC. Be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of Jefferson County, State of Indiana, that Section A, authority. The Jefferson County Health Department is hereby authorized to issue residential and commercial on-site sewage systems permits, collect permit fees and penalties, perform inspections, hold hearings, and order or otherwise compel corrections and violations of this ordinance, and is otherwise authorized to perform all actions necessary for the administration and enforcement of this ordinance. Section B, definitions. Construction, new, means construction of a new home, residential outbuilding, or commercial facility where there previously was no home, outbuilding, or commercial facility, or replacing, rebuilding, or remodeling an existing home, residential outbuilding, or commercial facility when the design daily flow of the new structures exceed what was previously at the site. Best judgment as described in Rule 410 IAC 8.3 for replacement of failed soil absorption systems shall not be used for new construction. Construction, repair/replacement means repair or replacement of an on-site sewage system for an existing home, residential outbuilding, or commercial facility, or the rebuilding or remodeling of an existing home, residential outbuilding, or commercial facility without an increase in the design daily flow of the project. In accordance with Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3, the best judgment of the Jefferson County Health Department may be used when necessary and appropriate for the repair or replacement of a failing residential on-site sewage system. Holding tank means a septic tanks or combination of septic and dosage tanks for which the outlet of the last tank in the series has been sealed off in order to prevent sewage or effluent discharge from any tank. Installer means any individual who performs any work in furtherance of construction, installation, replacement, alteration, repair, or abandonment of any residential or commercial on-site sewage system in Jefferson County, state of Indiana. Involuntary means a need to modify or improve a dwelling, residential outbuilding, or commercial facility due to factors outside of the owner's control, such as destruction by wind, fire, flood, or other natural disaster, or due to condemnation of a dwelling. On-site sewage systems malfunction means a residential or commercial on-site sewage system component that is not functioning in accordance with this ordinance per the manufacturer's requirements. On-site sewage systems malfunction does not have to meet the definition of on-site sewage system failure, but may also be a failure. Malfunction may include, but is not limited to, one or more of the following: the backup of sewage into the upstream on-site sewage system component, the liquid level in a septic tank consistently above the invert of the septic tank outlet, an outlet filter that is plugged sufficiently to cause backup in the septic tank, the liquid level in a dosing tank above the invert of the dosing tank inlet, the liquid level in a treatment unit above that recommended by the manufacturer, the liquid level in a distribution box consistently above the invert of the outlets, or a distribution box that does not provide equal distribution. Structural failure of a septic tank, dosing tank, treatment unit, distribution box, or other required component. Electrical failure of a float, an effluent pump, alarm, or other electrical component of an on-site sewage system, or removal of an outlet filter, an effluent pump, or any other system component if that outlet filter, pump, or component was required in the construction or operating permit. Soil pit means an excavation that is sufficiently wide, deep, and long enough for the soil scientist to enter the soil pit to directly observe and describe the soil profile. Voluntary means an owner's intentional or deliberate action to construct, modify, or improve a dwelling or residential outbuilding or increase the design daily flow of a structure. Required on-site sewage systems or connection to sanitary sewer. All persons owning, leasing, or otherwise occupying property that has a residential outbuilding, or commercial facility with plumbing not connected to sanitary sewer shall comply with the requirements of Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3 et sec, 410 IAC 4-10.1 et sec, and or Bulletin SE 11 as applicable, and other provisions of this ordinance for an on-site sewage system. In the event of a residential or commercial on-site sewage system failure, the residence, commercial outbuilding, or commercial facility shall be required to make a direction connection to sanitary sewer if the sanitary sewer isn't available within 300 feet of the affected property line and is available for connection at the construction cost and connection fee estimated not to exceed 150% of the cost estimated for installing an on-site sewage system to serve the residence, residential outbuilding, or commercial facility. Installer registration. All on-site sewage system installers in Jefferson County shall abide by all associated requirements in the state statutes, rules, and this ordinance regarding on-site sewage systems. An installer must register with the Jefferson County Health Department if they wish to install, replace, alter, repair, or abandon any residential or commercial on-site sewage system in Jefferson County, Indiana. Registration requires applying to the Jefferson County Health Department for registration on a form provided by the department, paying the appropriate registration fee as required in the Jefferson County Health Department fee ordinance, and certifying by passing an examination offered by the Jefferson County Health Department or other entity approved by the Jefferson County Health Department, or providing proof of current valid registration in another Indiana county, a certificate being issued from the Indiana On-Site Wastewater Professional Association, IOPA, for the type of system to be installed, and membership in good standing with IOPA. Registration is valid from January 1st to December 31st of the same year and must be renewed annually. Certification must be maintained throughout the period of registration. A lapse of certification will render the registration with the Jefferson County Health Department invalid. A registered installer must be on site during installation, repair, replacement, alteration, modification, or system abandonment, and shall be deemed responsible for the work done. A lapse of certification and or registration or repeated violation of any state statute, rules, or this ordinance pertaining to on-site sewage systems may result in revocation of registration or denial of registration renewal. Any registration, revocation, or denial of registration renewal may be appealed to the Jefferson County Board of Health. The period of revocation shall be no less than 90 days or a time period deemed appropriate by the Jefferson County Health Officer, and the registered individual shall be advised in writing for the basis of the revocation, the right and procedure for appeal, and the opportunity for a hearing. Sewage holding tanks. A sewage holding tank is an alternative method of sewage disposal in accordance with Indiana Code 1641-25-9. An application for a sewage holding tank must be filed by the property owner or property owner's agent, including an application form provided by the Jefferson County Health Department, a construction plan of sufficient clarity to show compliance with this ordinance, a copy of a written contract with an operator of a septic management vehicle providing the removal of septage at regular intervals, a written statement signed by the property owner indicating that copies of and other records as required be submitted to the local health department within 30 days of service, and for commercial sites where IDOH has completed plan review and approval for a commercial holding tank, a copy of the written approval from IDOH. All sewage holding tanks shall have a minimum capacity of, for holding tanks that are permitted as septic and or dosing tanks and planned to proceed a soil absorption field, the minimum capacity as designed by Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3 or Rule 410 IAC 6 through 10.1 for septic and or dosing tanks. For permit holding tanks, the greater of 1,000 gallons or at least 3 times the design daily flow of the home or commercial structure as deemed by Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3 or Rule 410 IAC 6-10.1. Have a capacity of no more than 10,000 gallons. A sewage holding tank shall meet all separation distances required for septic tanks in Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3 and 410 IAC 6-10.1. A sewage holding tank shall meet all the construction requirements of septic tanks in Rules 410 IAC 6-8.3 and 410 IAC 6-10.1. All sewage holding tanks shall have at least one riser to the surface for ease of pumping the tank. A secondary child-proof plug shall be installed under a safely secured riser lid. A construction permit issued by the Jefferson County Health Department is required prior to the installation of the holding tank or sewer. A sewer meeting the requirements for a residential sewer in Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3 or the requirements for a building sewer in Rule 410 IAC 6-10.1 shall be used to make a direct connection between the plumbing of the structure and the holding tank. All sewage holding tanks installed in Jefferson County shall have an installation inspection to confirm proper installation and to confirm the outlet of the last tank has been appropriately sealed prior to backfilling and the alarm wired in and verified operational. All holding tanks shall be required to have an operating permit by the Jefferson County Health Department. The construction permit for the installation of the holding tank shall also serve as the operating permit for the first 2 years of service. An operating permit for a sewage holding tank shall be valid for a period of 2 years from the date of issuance. Prior to operating permit renewal, a registered installer must inspect the holding tanks for verification of proper operation of the tank and alarm system. An inspection report must be provided to the Jefferson County Health Department prior to renewal. An operating permit shall be renewed prior to or within 10 days of expiration. An operating permit fee, as stated in the Jefferson County Health Department fee ordinance, shall be due at the time of operating permit renewal. Upon sale of a property for which an operating permit is required, the operating permit shall not transfer to the new owner, but shall remain active for 60 days after the date of sale. The new owner shall apply for an operating permit within 60 days of the date of sale. All receipts from pumping and maintenance of a sewage holding tank and other documents for repair or modification of a sewage holding tank need to be submitted to the Jefferson County Health Department within 30 days of the date of the service provided. An operating permit not renewed within 30 days of expiration, or a sewage holding tank not operating in a safe and sanitary manner, including receipts and other paperwork not submitted as required, is a violation of this ordinance and may be subject to penalty as described in Section I of this ordinance. Permit revocation and or denial of operating permit renewal. In the event that the sewage holding tank is not operating in a safe and sanitary manner and in accordance with Indiana Code 1641-25-9 and this ordinance, the Jefferson County Health Department may require the residential outbuilding or commercial facility to connect to a sanitary sewer if the sanitary sewer is available within 300 feet of the affected property line and is available for connection at a construction cost and connection fee estimated not to exceed 150% of the cost estimated for installing an on-site sewage system to serve the residential outbuilding or commercial facility, or install an on-site sewage system with a soil absorption field in compliance with Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3 or Rule 410 IAC 6-10.1, or connect to an existing system that has not failed. Upon connection to an approved soil absorption field as part of a full on-site sewage system or sanitary sewer, the sewage holding tank shall be abandoned in accordance with the rules unless it will be converted for the use of as a septic tank or a dosing tank in an on-site sewage system. General requirements for on-site sewage systems. An on-site sewage system construction permit issued by the Jefferson County Health Department shall be obtained prior to the installation of any component of an on-site sewage system or prior to the repair, replacement, alteration, or modification of any component of an on-site sewage system. On-site sewage system soil evaluation. An on-site soil evaluation is required as described in Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3 or Rule 410 IAC 6-10.1 prior to permit issuance for all residential and commercial sites where a soil absorption field is to be installed, expanded, or replaced, and as needed for repairs. A minimum of 3 soil profile evaluations are required to be evaluated in the area of the soil absorption field. The soil profile evaluations may be conducted using 3 soil borings, 3 soil pits, or any combination of borings and pits. The Jefferson County Health Department may request additional soil borings or soil pits if deemed necessary by the Jefferson County Health Officer. If the on-site soil evaluation report created from the evaluation of the soil profile is to be used for obtaining an on-site sewage system construction permit, the report must be signed by the professional soil scientist and submitted directly to the Jefferson County Health Department by the soil scientist. All distribution boxes shall be stabilized as to prevent movement during installation and operation. Soil absorption field sizing. All soil absorption fields to be installed in areas with expansive and contractive clays in Jefferson County shall be sized in accordance with the appropriate soil loading rates in tables 4 and 5 in Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3 or tables 5 and 6 in Rule 410 IAC 6-10.1 with no sizing reduction permitted. Soil loading rates as specified by manufacturers in product design and installation manuals for sand line systems and chambers, which result in a soil absorption field reduced in size from what the rule require, shall not be permitted in Jefferson County in areas with expansive and contractive clay. In cases where best judgment of the Jefferson County Health Department is necessary and approved, consideration will be given to sizing technologies per manufacturer's recommendations and as approved by the Indiana Department of Health. Connection or reconnection to an existing on-site sewage system. An existing residential or commercial on-site sewage system may be considered for connection or reconnection to a new or replacement dwelling, existing outbuilding, or commercial facility if the system is inspected by an installer registered with the Jefferson County Health Department or a qualified inspector and found to consist minimally of a septic tank and a soil absorption field that has not failed or malfunctioned. Either the original system installed was permitted through the Jefferson County Health Department, or the original system was not permitted through the Jefferson County Health Department, but a registered installer develops a plan of the site and system showing compliance with the rules in this ordinance, and the existing system is appropriately sized for the structure to be served. If the connection or reconnection is due to involuntary events, the Jefferson County Health Department may utilize their best judgment for the soil absorption field when approving a connection or reconnection to an existing system. If the connection or reconnection is due to voluntary events, the system being connected to must meet the requirements of the appropriate rule unless the site meets the requirements of the definition of repair or replacement construction in this ordinance. All commercial facilities wanting to connect or reconnect to an existing on-site sewage system must have written approval from Indiana Department of Health. A construction permit for connection or reconnection to an existing on-site sewage system shall be obtained prior to the start of construction of the residential outbuilding or commercial facility. Enforcement. Whenever the health officer determines there are reasonable grounds to believe that there has been a violation of this ordinance, Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3 or Rule 410 IAC 6-10.1, the Jefferson County Health Officer shall issue a notice of violation to the person or persons responsible as hereafter provided. Such notice shall indicate the date and location of the violation, clearly indicate the nature of the violation and the related ordinance, statute, or rule citation, allow for reasonable time for the performance of necessary remediation, be properly served upon the persons responsible. Proper service shall include any of the following: sent to the person directly via first-class mail, sent by certified mail to the last known mailing address of the person, posted in a conspicuous place in or about the property affected by the notice, or other method of service authorized or required under the laws of the state. After receiving an order in writing from the Jefferson County Health Officer, the owner of the property shall comply with the provisions of this ordinance and/or rule as set forth in said order and within the time limit specified therein. Order shall be served on the owner, but may be served on any person who, by contract with the owner, has assumed the duty of complying with the provisions of an order. Failure to comply with such order shall constitute a violation of this ordinance, and the violator shall be subject to the penalties as prescribed in section I of this ordinance. The Jefferson County Health Officer may compel an immediate stop work order of work completed, in progress, or planned, which is in violation of any provisions of this ordinance. Such stop work order shall result in the immediate suspension of all work at the job site and be posted at the construction site and confirmed by written notice to the owner or occupant of the premises and any person engaged in the performance of said work or any person causing such work to be performed. Failure to comply with such stop work order shall constitute a violation of this ordinance, and the violator shall be subject to the penalties as prescribed in section I of this ordinance. Whenever the Jefferson County Health Officer finds that an emergency exists which requires immediate action to protect public health, the Jefferson County Health Officer may, without notice or hearing, issue an emergency order declaring the existence of such an emergency and require that action be taken as the health officer deems necessary, notwithstanding the other provisions of this ordinance, Rule 410 IAC 6-8.3, Rule 410 IAC 6-10.1, and Bulletin SE 11. Such order shall be effective immediately. Any person to whom such an emergency order is directed shall comply therewith immediately, but upon petition to the Jefferson County Health Officer shall be afforded a hearing as soon as possible in the manner provided in section J. Penalties. Any person, firm, or entity found to be in violation of any provision of this ordinance and or rule shall be fined not more than $2,500 each day after the expiration of the time limit for abating unsanitary conditions and completing improvements to abate such conditions as ordered by the Jefferson County Health Department shall constitute a distinct and separate offense. The Jefferson County Health Department shall also be entitled to seek any other legal remedy available against any person who shall violate any provision of this ordinance and or rule. The Jefferson County Health Department shall be entitled to seek all legal fees incurred during enforcement of this ordinance and or rule. The penalties provided in this section shall be cumulative and not exclusive and shall be in addition to any other remedy provided by law. Procedure for appeal. Appeals may be filed with the Jefferson County Board of Health for any of the following decisions or actions taken by the Jefferson County Health Officer. Denial of a permit to install, construct, reconnect, replace, alter, or repair an on-site sewage system, holding tank, or sanitary vault privy. Revocation of a permit. The issuance of a notice of violation, a stop work order, or an emergency order as prescribed in section H of this ordinance. Registration revocation, or duration of revocation, or denial of revocation renewal, or registration renewal as prescribed in section D, or a penalty as prescribed in section I. Any persons filing such appeal shall be granted a hearing on the matter before the Jefferson County Health Board. The request shall be in writing and received at the office of the Jefferson County Health Department within 10 calendar days of the receipt of notice. If a request for hearing is not received within 10 calendar days, the decision or action shall stand. Such request shall briefly state the reasons for the requested hearing. Upon receipt of a request for a hearing, the Jefferson County Health Officer shall arrange a time and a place for such hearing and shall give the petitioner written notice thereof. Such hearings shall be held as soon as practical after the receipt of the request in compliance with Indiana Code 514 1.5 through 5, the open door law. At such hearing, the petitioner shall be given the opportunity to be heard and show evidence as to why such decision or action should be modified or withdrawn. Additionally, the health officer shall be given time to explain the circumstances of the decision and or action. The proceedings at each hearing, including the findings and decision of the Jefferson County Health Board, shall be summarized in the minutes of the hearing and entered as a public matter record in the office of the Jefferson County Health Department. In addition, all pertinent information, including but not limited to permit application and written correspondence, shall be included in the public record. Any person may seek relief thereof from any court of competent jurisdiction as provided by the law of the state. Remedies. Upon refusal or neglect of any person to correct an unlawful or unsanitary condition, when the abatement of the condition has been ordered in writing by the health officer, or an appeal against the decision and or action has been sustained by the health board, the health officer may, through the office of the Jefferson County Attorney or an attorney representing the health department, institute proceedings in the judicial court district wherein the offense occurs for enforcement by prohibitory or mandatory injunction to restrain any person from violating the provisions of this ordinance. Fee schedule. All applicable fees as set forth in the Jefferson County Health Department fee ordinance and any amendments or revisions thereafter shall be made payable to the Jefferson County Health Department. Conflict of ordinance and severability. In any case where the provision of this ordinance is found to be in conflict with the provision of any code of Jefferson County, Indiana, existing on the effective date of this ordinance, the provision which establishes the higher standard for the promotion and protection of health and safety of the people shall prevail. In any case where the provision of any other code of Jefferson County, Indiana, existing on the effective date of this ordinance, which establishes a lower standard for the promotion and protection of health and safety of the people, are hereby declared to be repealed to the extent that they may be found in conflict with this ordinance. If any section, subsection, paragraph, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance should be declared invalid for any reason whatsoever, such decision shall not affect the remaining portion of this ordinance, which shall remain in full force and effect, and to the end that the provisions of this ordinance are hereby declared to be severable.
Phew.
It's like sewer system too.
What?
You supply the sewer system too, not strictly septic.
No, this is just septic.
Commercial sewer then. Seems odd, but anyway, I'm just curious.
Honestly, I don't know. We wrote our own and we barely got shut down because we came in here and did the first reading a long time ago. And then they told us that it didn't.
What are you
Right.
talking about?
Well, an on-site sewage system, I mean, residential, commercial facility.
I think if you have
You know,
a,
It's
it doesn't
just
say
for-
if you have a
pure
business,
septic.
well, I think if you have a business on site and your only means of sanitary sewer system is an on-site sewage system, that's what it's related to.
Yeah.
Cause I think.
Well, that wouldn't be because it says you're within 300 yards and you're not functional, then you have to get on it, so. But
Well, yeah, I mean, I thought they were talking about a business on that piece of property that
Like if you
needs,
were out in the county, like businesses that are out in the county that have people
that can't hook to it,
There
a
is.
sewer system, they gotta have their own.
okay, I just want to make clear that it's strictly
This is strictly
homeowner
septic.
septic systems.
It can apply to business, but we don't do, like the state does the business
Churches.
aspects. Mhm.
Like
State
ours.
has to do those, but they still correspond with us, so it still kind of falls under, like they need to fall under this ordinance, so they know that they still have to go through the proper channels, and they still have to comply with any ordinance that's in Jefferson County. Even if they have a septic system that's done by the state, because of it being a business.
So that was the second reading, we can take a motion as long as we're all in agreement to forego the third reading. We have to do that and be unanimous in that decision, and then we can make a motion to approve the ordinance.
I will make a motion to forego the third reading of the Jefferson County on-site sewage systems ordinance reading.
I second.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Uh,
Aye. Okay, so now we need a motion to approve the ordinance.
I make a motion, we approve the Jefferson County on-site sewage system ordinance.
I second that motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Thank you for your speedy reading.
No problem. Probably could speed that up a little bit.
So what did you end up with?
I didn't time it.
No,
Oh.
do you know what it? The speed was?
Oh.
You could
1.5.
understand it.
1.5. We
Oh.
did 1.25 last time, but they didn't have a 1.75. That's when it skipped to the 2 and went really fast. That
had
didn't work well.
We had the chipmunks here.
I was close enough to a chipmunk, 1.5.
So you don't have nightmares at night thinking of.
I might do this because I had to read it. I got caught not listening to myself read it.
It's interesting, the pauses seem to be about the same length as the words that were sped up.
Alright, last time I was here, I promised an
An
update,
update.
so we're gonna go through this one kind of quick.
One
Not as
and-
quick as I really want to be there.
one and a half.
So, health numbers with the schools, we participated in 8 open houses. Our school liaison has had approximately 7 meetings in the third quarter with different schools and their officials. We did 499 immunizations. And we had 3 evening clinics. We do 1 a month. For food,
We had 192 food inspections. And we had 10 new establishments and 12 festivals. For environmental, we had 149 inspections that include, septic, soil, assisting, like IDOH, so in the Department of Health. And then we just had some other random inspections that are included in that. And we had 39 animal bites. All animal bites, all the records come to the health department.
Is that like a normal number that, or is that more, or is that less?
It felt a little high. Usually
So,
if you see.
we don't know
more in, like,
exactly.
the
Okay.
spring, they're a little higher in the spring, not so much in the fall. It's not way out of the ballpark, but it's a little bit high.
Okay.
Vital records. We had 102 births in Jefferson County. We had 84 deaths. We issued 495 birth certificates. We issued 445 death certificates. And then, trainings, we had 16 health department trainings. I had 3, so we had 19. Just put my own numbers in there. We had 4 emergency drills, so, they partner sometimes with EMA and they do some District 9 healthcare, just different drills. We were invited to speak, or we did trainings at 8 different locations. My staff indicated 15 meetings. I know that is not correct. That is a very low number. And I'm not sure where we missed it on, but I had 39. So.
And they had 15.
They had more. I just don't think they know it. But, I have breakdowns of stuff too. You guys are more than welcome. I can send them to you, but it's just a whole bunch of
Numbers. Oh.
random numbers on.
So how's the new health funding going that that the state has started? You got half of it this year and next year it's
The full amount.
full amount?
Yep, so we've created a lot of new partnerships. We have a lot of MOUs that are in the works that will get brought to you guys. I know that even though they're not contracts, I'm sure you guys would like to see them.
Yep.
We have a lot of those in the works for next year. I think we have maybe even one that will get into play this year, and then we'll have a second one to follow up for next year. And we will have a decent amount of carryover, which is decent. It's pretty normal for getting us started, and it was also intended. One of our grants is ending next year. We have 2 people that get paid out of it, and the funding one of them will get paid once, and one of them will get paid twice out of it next year, and then they're gonna get switched over by using the carryover funding from the Health First budget. I think it's really set some groundwork for us to be able to make some impact. I think it's got us into some new positions, like in the schools, and with different organizations that just affect health in various different ways in the county. It's definitely strengthened some partnerships with local organizations, Bethany Legacy, the Freedom Center, Life Choices, KDH, almost all of our schools are participating in different things that we're offering. The Hanover College, Ivy Tech, I mean, there's so many different, I'm sure I'm forgetting so many different partnerships.
That's good.
But
I mean,
it's definitely opened the doors for.
Well, yeah, when you have money,
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what it takes, and so, the new, what the Lifetime Resources is looking at for kind of a one-stop shopping for healthcare services. Mainly, I mean, mental health is one part of it, but I think they're looking at some other things. I don't know if that has any possibilities there that could be another way to offer some things that we don't have now, but.
Lifetime Resources does a great job. There's definitely potential there.
I'm just, they're supposed to be looking
Yeah.
at a new facility and where
Yeah.
it's going and stuff, and just things to, and I don't know if the the community center slash fitness center thing that the doctors are kind of looking at. I don't know if that's another
We
opportunity.
helped participate, with a little bit of funding just for their preliminary, findings. So just so they could get the ball rolling and basically poll the community. So we helped with some of that in the initial part of it.
This seems like a good thing.
It does.
So-
I think there's a lot of health focus going on right now and all of it together, being able to have more funding to be a bigger part of that, I definitely feel like has helped us be less siloed as a community when it comes to health.
I mean, because those organizations that you're partnering with, they have contacts. And those contacts that they have may be different than the ones you have, and so
Yeah,
it just spreads out, so.
they definitely are. It's been great for networking and just kind of being able to actually have a finger on the pulse of things that are happening in the community and the organizations that do some great work here.
Nice help plugging them on the pulse.
Mhm.
Yes, they do.
Mhm.
All right, anything else?
Not today.
Thanks.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next.
I'm gonna leave the signed one.
Yeah, she'll have to get it
Okay.
tested and stuff like that.
All right. Have a great evening.
You too.
You too?
You're gonna go listen to yourself again on the YouTube?
Nope.
Okay.
I sat through the whole thing. I haven't read it to myself. I've heard it twice now. and I'm good.
Enough's enough.
To wake up from memory spouting off section D on. Can you guys have anything?
No. Juvenile
Friday
tomorrow. Be here
at noon?
that's the only thing I got going on.
We'll just have to get someone with the keys. I think we'll get
Ben.
Ben, okay. Got that, good deal.
Can't be there, he's gonna get the keys to us, or that's the last, yeah.
I gotta be out at the jail at 9 to meet a guy, let me see if I can get him.
Yeah.
Okay.
From you?
Just like take a minute to thank Tabitha and her staff and all the volunteers, the hours they put in, cause they were hammered this year voting, great turnout. But, they're seldom recognized and they run a good ship. When you hear about some of the other counties and other places, we're very fortunate to have that group, so just kudos to them for doing a good job.
Agree.
That's all I got.
And Brian mentioned about the animal shelter. Other than that, I don't have anything. I don't think. So,
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second Ron's motion.
okay, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Thanks for coming, everyone.